We're here. Yeah, we're live. We
Is
are
anybody there?
live. Is anyone here? Hello? Hello? Hey y'all, happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. So you guys have my beautiful, glorious friend here, Jasenia Velasquez.
Gracias, muchas thank you. And this beautiful one here.
Hello, y'all.
Yes.
Hi. So y'all, we've been talking. We've been spending a lot of time talking, and we have a lot. We just love to share our hearts with people, and we realize, especially in this time, how important community is, how important connection is, and the power of getting real, the power of making connection and talking about like the things that we go through, that we face in life.
It's very important. And why did we come up with this is because I think we've been talking about it for so long by ourselves that we're like, hey, we need to share this.
Yes.
We need to really speak from here, from
Yes.
our hearts.
Yes.
Because I know that we're not the only ones that are experiencing this.
No.
And by voicing what we're feeling, and it's gonna touch others.
Yes.
So not only that, but we've been thinking about this for years.
Yes.
And we're doing it now. We have the connection.
Yeah.
And I know others need this too.
Right. So we are gonna come live every Friday, and just open up a forum and check in, see how people are doing, talk about life, and just we have different things that I think will connect with every single person. It's gonna resonate.
When we say every single person,
yes,
we mean every single person.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what nationality, because as you can see, I have an accent. Did you notice that?
Yeah. No,
it doesn't matter.
No,
I thought that. Oh my God.
No, I didn't know you have an accent.
You just noticed that?
I did.
How women be friends?
I had no
soul
idea.
sisters?
I'm really surprised. Y'all, I didn't know she had an accent. Okay, all right, go ahead, tell them. Go ahead.
Okay, well, if you feel like I have an accent, it's not real. She says I don't have one. So.
Yeah, we just want to open up the space and talk about life. So tonight what we want to talk about is lessons learned in 2020 and in this beginning stages of 2021, and a lot of the things that we've taken forward with us. But first, to get started, what I love about 2020 is the amount of jokes that we can have about COVID. So I found these quarantine jokes. Let's see. She hasn't read it yet, so we'll see how these go. All right, and let's see what you guys think. So,
by the way, we haven't practiced this or
Of course not. We're just going live.
No, we're just going. We're just
going
with the flow.
We're just here. All right. Okay, Jasenia, why did the chicken cross the road?
Because he didn't want to get killed. He went fast.
That's a good reason. How about because the chicken behind it didn't know how to socially distance properly?
Oh my gosh.
It's so ridiculous. Okay. Two grandmothers were bragging about their precious darlings. One of them said to the other, "Mine are so good at social distancing, they won't even call me." Huh.
That is sad. That is called social distancing, not phone distancing.
How about, whose idea was it to sing happy birthday while washing your hands? Now, every time I go to the bathroom, my kids expect me to walk out with a cake. Okay, how about this one? My husband purchased a world map and then gave me a dart and said, "Throw this, and wherever it lands, that's where I'm taking you when this pandemic ends." Turns out we're spending 2 weeks behind the fridge.
Oh my god.
Stupid. Okay, what you got? Just put on the glasses.
With my eyes, my other eyes.
How many of you got to use glasses to read?
Hey, I have to know. Hey, this is called aging with
Class?
not only class, like a wine. I'm aging like a wine.
Aging like a wine?
Yes. Come on now.
Fine wine, I love it. Okay.
Fine wine. Fine wine. Here you go. Okay, here it goes. Ran out of toilet paper and started using lettuce leaves. Today was just the tip of the iceberg. Tomorrow remains to be seen. Remains to be seen.
I like that one. Tip of the iceberg. I do love me some lettuce. Go ahead.
Okay, this one. My mom always told me I wouldn't accomplish anything by laying in bed all day.
Uh-huh.
But look at me now, Ma. I'm saving the world.
Okay.
After years of wanting to thoroughly clean my house but lacking the time,
Uh-huh.
this week I discovered that wasn't a reason.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. If I keep stressing eating at this level, the buttons on my shirt will start socially distancing from me.
That's a good one. I like that. I think that's the best one. All right. Thanks for joining us, y'all. We're talking lessons learned in 2020, moving into 2021. It is a new world. This is like, 9/11 changed everything, right? There's like pre 9/11, post 9/11. We have now hit a new climax. Everything is like pre-COVID, post-COVID, right? And so we're talking about lessons learned. We've been having a lot of conversations around just a lot of the change and transformation, along with the challenges that we've all had to face. So we just wanted to open up a conversation, really invite you guys to join in with us. If you have questions, if you want to share what's been going on with you during 2020 and 2021, please let us know in the comments. We're just opening up this space to build community and talk about life and just have some fun. Have some fun on a Friday night, y'all. So
we can go nowhere.
Since we can't go nowhere, y'all. Come on. Who wants to go out? Can't do anything. God damn. All right. I told her today, I was like, you know what? We need to dress up real nice like we used to do. We used to go out, and remember those days when we used to go out, y'all? And just socially distance at a restaurant. No, we can't go to a club. It's okay. We make it work.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the time we're in. So the first lesson we were thinking about is paying attention to what we feed our mind. How many of you at the beginning of COVID were like freaking out, majorly, right? When it comes to like not knowing what this thing was. It was so scary at the time.
What to expect.
How
far was going to go.
Right.
How much was going to impact our lives, our families.
You never want us to step out of the house. It's like, I remember being in a panic because I was like, I don't have, what's that spray?
Lysol.
Yeah. Don't have no Lysol. I need to get Lysol. Remember all the looking for everything that said like couldn't get the just kills
99.9%, okay?
But not just bacteria, you had to look for viruses, right? And it was like sold out on the shelves, and it was like, man, it was so scary, right? And really recognizing the state of fear. Everything was going down on social media, on the news.
Yeah, like my experience I can share.
Yeah.
I don't watch the news. I just don't. And if there is anything I would like to know, then there is Google. for you to ask, and then you get an
Yeah.
answer. But when the pandemic was starting, the beginning of the time, I started watching the news. I started, to feed my mind with all that negativity and see
Yeah.
how fast the numbers of people that were dying was rising. And I was going like I was in a fear mode. I remember actually watching one night the news, and at that moment, I had a panic attack just because I was coughing. But I was coughing probably, I don't know why. I can feel like my chest like compressing and getting really tight, and I couldn't breathe. I just felt like I was starting to think, oh my God, I'm getting sick. I'm going to be in the hospital. What's going to happen to me? And all these questions,
Yeah.
all these stories that my mind created
Yeah.
at that little moment, just because I was watching the news
Yeah.
and seeing everything,
Yeah.
how fast it was going. And thank God that I had someone next to me and said, breathe. Everything is fine.
Yeah.
Everything is okay. That's not you. You weren't around
Yeah.
people that you don't know. You're
Yeah.
okay. Just breathe.
Yeah.
Breathe.
Yeah.
Turn that off. Turn your phone off.
Yeah.
Just breathe.
Yeah.
And come back to yourself. Come
Yeah.
back to you. So after that, I stopped watching it.
Yeah.
I stopped watching the news just because I was getting in a panic mode.
Yeah.
I was living in fear, and it's not what I wanted for my health.
And how much was it's self-preservation to turn off the news,
Yes.
right? To tune out of social media, honestly, because it was putting you in such a state of anxiety and fear, especially for those who had to work, right? Who had to work in the public. And I mean, that's the next lesson is how much did we learn about what our support structures are in the midst of a crisis, right? Like the everyday people who take care of us, right? Who take care of us at the grocery store, at the gas station, all those basic needs that we need to have met. And people who had to go out and work, they didn't have the luxury of working from home. Yeah. Oh my God, especially in the medical industry. Especially y'all, people those of you who are working in the medical industry, who are caretaking for us right now during this pandemic, y'all are gems, y'all are treasure.
Putting your lives on the line.
Yeah, I mean, so much gratitude for you. My uncle and my aunt both work in the hospital out in Arizona, and my uncle he ended up getting COVID, and he, it was scary. And he's fit. He's fit. He's very healthy. And it scared him. So this is no joke. And for those of you who support us, especially those of you in the medical field, thank you so much. So it was a lot of getting away from fear and not allowing that fear to overpower or give anxiety. For me, I found myself spending a lot of time. It was like as soon as I got done with work, and I had the luxury of working from home, and I still have the luxury of working from home during this time. And as soon as I would get done, I would find nature. I would head out. I'd find nature, and that's where I was able to find my saving grace. Getting out, going for long hikes. And what was fascinating, so I love going out hiking and stuff in nature. And what's fascinating is I typically don't come across animals that often, like special sightings. But I don't know, during this time, I've come across foxes, coyotes, wolves, whole herds of elk, deer, owls, so many animal sightings in nature, and almost having the whole a whole area to yourself because there just wasn't many people out, and so that was a saving grace for me, was being able to connect to nature.
Me, I had to work. I couldn't stop working, and I just know that my way of keeping my sanity because I don't want to touch anything. I
Yeah.
don't want to get close to anyone.
Yeah.
I have my family that I wanted to see, which I couldn't see because I was out with people. And there was like some time that maybe my dad said, "You guys come, like we miss you guys, just come and see us." And like my sister and I, we didn't want to go, but we went. But even if we were there, we were keeping our distance.
Yeah.
We couldn't hug them, we couldn't kiss them that how we always do, because her and I, we are so much for hugs. We are so much for that
Huge
connection.
huggers.
And you know that to me, that's what I miss most right
Yeah.
now. But when I was with my family, I couldn't do that.
Right.
I couldn't hug them, and it was painful. It was painful not to feel that touch and that connection, that heart to heart with your mom, with your dad, with your sisters, with your nieces, with your son, my son. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
And not only that, but at that time, my baby, my granddaughter, my second granddaughter was born. And I remember like my daughter-in-law said, like, nobody can come and see her because we have to wait 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
My heart just shattered. It went to the floor. Like, I just wanted to hold my baby in my arms and kiss her and do this and do that. But we just, we couldn't do that.
Couldn't do it.
It was something that we had to come and face that life wasn't the same anymore, and it was hard. It's hard. So, but I went to see her, and when I went to see her, I had to wear a mask. I couldn't kiss her. And I remember my granddaughter, my 4-year-old granddaughter, she's like, Whitty, because she calls me Whitty. She doesn't call me grandma. But she calls me Whitty, which is a name she made up since she was little. She was 2 years old.
She
couldn't.
Still cracks me up. I'm like, Witty.
Yeah.
Witty.
Yeah. So she calls me Whitty. And she's like, Whitty, you have to wash your hands and wear your mask if you want to touch my baby.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, baby, I'll do that. But it's hard because that connection to me is important.
Yeah.
That touch, that holding my son, holding my babies is so crucial for me.
Yeah.
And now we have to face it. We have to face that we cannot hug people.
Right.
As we have to ask for permission.
Right. I think that's the sort of the oddest thing is the fact that like the new set of manners is to be like, is it okay if I take my mask off?
Yeah.
Are you okay to hug?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to handshake? It's like, it's so awkward.
Yeah.
And it's like not having that connection or that ease of connection with people anymore is really difficult. And also the new reality of constantly having to wear masks all the time. It's like,
oh my God, I work. So when I work, I have to wear a mask for like 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just feel like your brain is getting so hot, like you can't even breathe. So sometimes I just have to like put it down real quick and, take a breath in.
Yeah.
And then put it back on. And then you're breathing your own breathing.
Yeah.
So not healthy.
I have a lot of question marks about when offices and stuff start opening and we have to start wearing masks inside. I mean, it's just to not be able to breathe, to just breathe, to be able to breathe properly. Then there's the fact of like, I mean, just real talk. People wear masks all the time, right? We're talking about like acting fake, not being real, not being authentic. And then on top of that is now we're literally living in a world with masks, and how do we really get to know someone? How do we really get to make connection with people like who are wearing masks all the time? And when I was in Hawaii, and thanks y'all for all the positive like love and everything.
Yeah, it was beautiful. She didn't take me. How dare she?
I know. Next time, girl. Next time I got you. But yeah, when I was in Hawaii, I was one of the taxi drivers, one of the Lyft drivers. I got in the car and he's like, are you? He's like, my smell's been heightened lately. And I was like, heightened? He's like, yeah. He's like, I don't know what it is, but he's like, but you smell really good. He's like, is that smells like citrus, like peach or apricot, and it's hilarious because literally the fragrance I was wearing has like a scent of apricot in it, and I was like, how did he know that? And so we were talking about the ways is like that maybe it's because wearing masks all the time, right? Like there's certain like heightened senses that can come up, right? And for me personally, like, I mean, they say that eyes are the window to the soul. Legit, eyes are the window to the soul. And lately, I mean, for me, is like really being able to see and make a connection through someone's eyes. And so there's all these different ways of finding and learning how to have connection with people. That has shifted in the way that we make connection because of these masks.
Yeah,
It's
and we can even social.
We can even socialize.
Socialize because you don't have that ability to go places, or places are not open, so
yeah. So John's asking, he's curious what's in our mugs.
Tea.
It's tea. I mean, it is a Friday night, but we keep it simple over here. Just salud.
Cheers.
Salud. Tea. Yeah, and then there's gosh, what else did we talk about? Resilience. How many of us are learning about resilience? Learning how to bounce back after hard times. Gosh, like the level of unemployment, people not able to cover their expenses, a whole system being like just turned over in many ways. It's been a really interesting time to see. Anybody else find it curious that when we went through the recession, right, all the banks were always getting bailed out all the time, but people were not getting bailed out, people were not being helped. But here we are in the middle of COVID, and it's the first time we're having a real conversation of like, how do we support people who are out of work? Because how badly did the recession really impact people financially? People lost their jobs. I was one of those people who got laid off during the recession, and bouncing back from that, right? And here we are in a time again of having to face some real deep vulnerabilities. And it's been fascinating to watch banks offer extensions on mortgages, credit card companies allowing extensions on those things.
Even
car payments. I mean, really interesting how flexibility is suddenly a reality that never existed before. So something tells me there's going to be some different ways we're thinking about money, especially when everything's like card only, because people don't want to touch money these days. It's really interesting. I'm curious if any of you have any thoughts about what you think is going to unfold when it comes to what we're seeing with our financial establishments and stuff like that around COVID. But yeah, we're learning resilience when it comes to finances, resilience when it comes to like mental, emotional well-being,
especially mental and emotional well-being. That's number one.
It's huge.
Don't we know about that?
Yeah, like seriously, girl, come on. And what it has done is, for me, a huge lesson that I learned out of resilience is finding a way to get your needs met. Because it's recognizing your own vulnerabilities, recognizing
the emotions
that are at play, especially when you're isolated by yourself, when you're going through a hard time like a breakup or
preach it, girl.
Come on, girl.
Or especially when you're going through a breakup.
Yeah, it's like all these challenges that come up,
emotions and thoughts that your beautiful mind creates, and that you feel like you're alone and you cannot talk about it, and that you're just supposed to hide yourself and not show how you're really feeling,
right?
And don't tell anyone because oh my God, my heart is broken and people are going to talk or people are going to say this, and that. But you know what? At that moment is when it's okay. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to talk to that safe person that you have in your circle. And if you don't, this is why too we're opening this safe space. Is because I know we're not the only ones that needed that. I thank God I have her, and vice versa. Because you need to talk, you need to vent, you need to say whatever you're going through, whatever it is in life. Because life brings you a lot of experiences, a lot of lessons to be learned. And sometimes our mind creates these stories that you are supposed to face that pain, that emotion by yourself. But when you're facing it by yourself, you create more pain towards yourself. So you need that other person that can see, they can see not where you are, but they can see farther more than what you are right now. So, and it's okay to ask for help, and I'm one of the persons that is learning that, because I was that person. I was that person that I wouldn't tell no one anything that I was going through, and I would just hide. And I wouldn't open up.
There's a way which, I think COVID might have done for a lot of people. Maybe some of you are feeling this right now, is like, that you can't carry it all, right? You can't hold it all in. You can't try to keep it, all inside, because we don't have access to the things that we used to have access to for outlets, right? Like when the gyms closed down, right? I was one of those, like, every day going to the gym, love it. Choose Fitness was my place. I love working on my machines and watching a movie. It's so fun. But it's like not having connection to the different outlets for self-care, for mental health, right? Not those things not being accessible that you maybe had, and that you could just sort of like keep everything bottled inside and not necessarily need to reach out or whatever. And it's like, we're in a time right now where it's pushing a lot of people to be like, all right, I got to open up. I got to reach out. I need to find connection, talk things through, checking in with one another. I love, like the calls or text messages that I would get a lot from family and friends. How you doing? How are things going? Right. There's a way which just like building support, especially in this time, has been really eye-opening.
It is.
And having support structures. A really sad thing, my neighbor over here there was a suicide over here, and it was one of those moments that it was like, man, you just don't want anybody to get to that point, which is why I always make myself very open and available for people, because life gets hard. And when challenges arise, it's like you don't have to carry all that alone. And sometimes it's just needing to have a shift of perspective. Like, right? How many times, like, how much of it is just like having someone who can give you a shift of a perspective, and just listen, right? Learning how to just listen to one another
when you're at that level that you don't feel like there is that you feel that you're just like, no going, no how can I say it? Like no open door, like no getting out of your scarcity, your emotions, your, I don't know, everything that you're going through at that moment. Is like your low self. That's how sometimes we feel. It's like there is no getaway, there is nothing that I can be like, it's gonna soothe my pain at that moment. And it's when you need that one person that's gonna help you come out of your head, your mind.
So community, really important. Mental health, really important. Finding ways to get your needs met around self-care, all of that stuff, really important. Such a lesson learned. Can I say thank God for technology? Like the fact that we can do this right now. The fact that we can even do this. Zoom.
Zoom,
Marco Polo.
Marco Polo, FaceTime.
Yeah, FaceTime.
Yeah.
Duo. Like,
it helps you.
Yeah.
It helps you to connect.
Yeah.
It helps you to, even though, there's no touching, but you can see the person who lives.
Yes.
So it helps a lot.
Yes. I'm a huge Marco Poloer. Loving Marco Polo right now. And it's been such a great resource for quick connections with people. And I'm because we are such people. We're people. It's like we gotta have, like, I need to have that face to face. Like, I need to see people's faces. I need to feel like I'm talking to them. And so it's been nice having these different technologies that allow us to connect. But then there's the reality of Zoom fatigue. I know people are feeling it. It's like, if I get another Zoom invite, I'm not interested, right? It's like we're getting to that point. But I love the fact that I have community when I do Zoom calls. We have people who get on those calls and build community. There's certain Zooms that are worth it, that are worth joining because like, this is my community, and you feel really connected there. And it's just nice to have that avenue and to be able to continue that. As a person who was doing a lot of in-person invites, because I'm a big meetup person and have had a lot of groups and stuff over the years, having the ability to move things virtually has been a good way of being able to keep fostering that sense of community.
And the sense of connection, because since you can go nowhere anymore, you can still connect.
Right.
And it doesn't mean that you need that place to go or meet.
Right.
But
I wish I would have got the memo so I could have bought some stocks and stuff before. Come on, it's ridiculous. Anybody else find it real curious how some people just knew what stocks to buy and bought a lot of them around a time called COVID? I'm just real curious about all the money being made during this time that some people seem to know about that others did not. I'm just saying. I'm just putting that out there.
We already know what that answer is.
But yeah, thank God for technology for sure. And getting to know yourself. Yeah. We had our conversation about authenticity the other day, y'all, and it was that thing about having to get honest with yourself about yourself, right?
And that's the real love. That's real love. Real love is right there. It's because it's really.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like before, when I will go through something in life or anything, any experiences, anything hard.
Yeah.
It was easy for me to just distract what I was feeling, what I was thinking. It was easy to distract. Put a Band-Aid on it. Just put a Band-Aid, continue with my life. That happened, it's okay. I'm strong. I can handle it. I don't need to worry about it. It's okay.
Yeah.
But now with this pandemic, and you go through hard things or hard stuff.
Yeah.
It's time. Yeah. It's really time to really feel.
Yeah.
And that's love. Love is loving yourself in the moments of pain.
Yeah.
When you're really going through that pain, And I'm not saying like we're talking, it's like don't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
Don't. Because when you're at that moment, yes.
Yeah.
Just don't do it by yourself, but don't victimize yourself either.
Yeah.
Because when you victimize yourself, you're just in that love spectrum of your life that you're just like, you're just feeling sorry for yourself.
Yeah.
But you're not healing.
Yeah.
So by facing your pain, oh my God.
It's real.
It's
real. Yeah.
I don't have any words. It's just real.
Yeah.
It becomes to really know yourself.
Yeah.
And it really shows you a lot of what you've been putting behind.
Right.
And not really facing it and not really feeling it and not really finding the answer for why that's coming up at this moment or at that moment. Whatever it is that we're going through.
Yeah. I know I felt a little fortunate before COVID because I was already doing some deep diving work for myself, and uncovering, like, there's a realization, and maybe some of those of you out there, like high performance people, like achievement driven people, and or you're like super extroverted and doing all the things, right? And it's like going and doing all this stuff, being over here, being over there, being with this person, doing that, doing this. And I realized that so much of it was just a distraction, me not wanting to be with myself, not wanting to be with myself. And so before COVID hit, like a few months before, I realized, like, I'm going to shift a pattern here, and I'm going to start carving out time specifically for myself, and get comfortable with being alone, with being with myself. And I thank God for that, because I know where I was before, which was doing a bazillion things all the time. And I sent out, remember I sent out an email to all my loved ones and my friends, let them know, like, hey, I'm not gonna be engaging and socializing like the same way. Like, I'm coming to have these like understandings about myself, and these I'm gonna start setting some boundaries for myself, so I could really carve out the time to myself, and so people could know that, like, I'm gonna start saying no to stuff. I just want y'all to know it's not about you, it's all about me, right? And it's okay.
To say no.
And it's okay.
It's okay to put boundaries. It's okay.
It's okay.
And it's something I'm learning. It's like, because now I need to face this lonely time. Yes, before I was alone too, in my place, in my house, but I had places that I can go, Now it's like, yes, I'm with myself and by myself at my house by myself. So what is there to do?
Right.
What is there to do?
Right.
But face and really get to know yourself.
Right.
Really get to know and love yourself.
Right.
That whatever is coming up, that whatever you're feeling, write and talk about it and share it and say what you're feeling. Vent.
Create a self-love routine, y'all. Self-love routine, or what some of you might call spiritual practice, right? A morning ritual, right? Having that stuff's really important, in order to get to carve out some space and some time for yourself. So I know for sure, like, if for anyone who was dealing with those deep levels or feelings of like being like loneliness, or
you felt like you were in a dark place, that you didn't have any.
Right. I mean, all that stuff was coming to the surface during COVID, and I just wanted to give voice to that. Really learning how to get to know yourself. So curious if any of you want to share, your stories of resilience, or things you learned, or things that helped you during this time, and really getting comfortable with this idea of isolation. For those of you who are, single and alone, feel free to tell us. This stuff's really helpful. And then, gosh, I think we might have covered everything here. Yeah, it's just a new reality. It's just a new reality when it comes to COVID. So, learned a lot.
Yeah, it's
lucky to have people in our lives. Especially during hard times. And I don't know what it is, but like, I feel like, there is a lot of fracturing of relationships happening during this time. Tumultuous stuff going on in relationships during this time. I can't tell you how many conversations I've had with people, where there's been a lot of shifts around relationships, and really getting to know where your support lies, who the partner is that you were in a relationship with, what is serving you, what is not, who are friends, who are not really friends but posers, all that stuff. So you get to learn. A lot of people are learning a lot of that. I've had several conversations with people during this time, and so it's been eye-opening. It's been an eye-opening time. The last thing, I think, the biggest lesson is joy, right? Joy and laughter, and celebrating wins. for some people, and I include myself there actually, is that 2020 was a really amazing year of a lot of really beautiful things opening up. Some people's businesses expanded, some people's visions expanded. Um, people were able to start new things, or meet a moment, right? And so all of those wins are good to celebrate. If 2020 was a good year, celebrate it. Let people know it was a good year. I know some people are like, I don't want to talk about what, I feel bad. I don't know, because it's like 2020, people are hurting. It's like, no, like, it's really important to continue joy.
And it's, and even if it wasn't a good year, because I know we all had experienced different stuff in different ways, and it doesn't mean that your pain is worse than mine or my pain is worse than yours. No, it doesn't matter what level it is. What
Yeah.
matters is that pain is pain. We feel the same. The emotions come up the same.
Yeah.
So it's okay to say, I learned from this, and I needed help, and I look for help, because like I mentioned before, I was the one that will hide myself and just deal with everything on my own.
Yeah.
But that's not healing.
No.
That's not healing.
It's not healing.
Not healing.
Yeah.
That's not being strong.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I said, putting a band-aid and that's it. Because you're still in your own mind, you're still in your own feelings,
Yeah.
and you're not seeing anything past that. And we need that one person, where you can say, well, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm going through, and I don't like it. I feel like I'm less than, or I'm not worthy, or I'm not whole, or whatever you're feeling at that moment. It's okay to vent to that one person you feel safe with.
Yeah.
And every experience that we go through in life is a lesson. It's a lesson for us to learn. It's something that is making us grow more as human beings, and to know ourselves more, to connect with ourselves more. And it's beautiful when they, I don't know who says, but there is like a saying that says, out of pain becomes the whole that you can be or become. Is that the wholeness in you? You get to know yourself more when you really face those pains, those emotions.
Yeah, getting really honest
With yourself.
really honest, and allowing yourself to feel. Yeah, it has definitely been an uncovering of self this time, for sure.
It's really putting the mask
down. Yeah, even if you didn't think you had a mask, it might be coming to forefront.
Facing it. It's like you're facing your mask.
Yeah, it has been a time of dark night of the soul, for many, and navigating dark night and coming to the other side. Or maybe there's some of you are in dark night right now, and I just want to give voice to,
you're not alone.
You're not alone.
We all feel
I
the same.
deeply know dark night, and and what some resources to come through, and what this time is teaching. Coming through dark night, it is such a process of awakening, and coming through. So it's good.
Yeah, there are some people too. It just came to mind, and because I know some people that they don't have a job right now, and they cannot look for help, like with therapists or anything like that, so they don't have the source to pay for it. And this is why creating a circle where you feel safe, a circle where you feel like there is compassion and love, is important. Because a lot of people don't have that help, they don't have that option, and this is why we want to give voice, that you're not alone. You're just not alone. And if this helps in any way, we're here.
Yeah. If you're looking for community, definitely DM us. DM me, DM Jacinia. We can add you to the group. We're all about building community with one another, and just sharing our hearts.
And that's the best connection,
Support.
is heart to heart.
Talk about, and things that can help uplift, and remind you to believe in yourself.
Yes.
Remind you who you are, the power of who you are, which is
Yes.
not your circumstances.
It's not.
Not your circumstances.
It doesn't define you. That's
all
not
the potential
who you are.
is who you are. Yeah. So thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
This was fun. It's Jasinia's first time going live. I'm so proud of you.
I was so nervous. I'm like, oh my God, what's gonna happen?
We're like, we just have to do it. We're just gonna have to, just burst that bubble, start the process. So
And the bubble was worse than
we'll be going live and open up this space of connection. So on Friday nights, so tune in. Let us know if you want to join the fun.
Yes.
And we can add you to our Facebook group. And sending you lots of love. Talk to you on the flip side.
Lots of love.
All social distance hugs. Virtual hugs. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.